Today's video will be about a common progression that we use a lot. It specifically involves the movement between 4 and 6 of any key that you're in. Now, typically, when you have a progression going from 4 up to 6, there's certain ways that you get around that work better than others. Now, if you haven't watched the video on secondary dominance, I strongly advise that you go watch that first. Now, to the point. This exercise, I'll be doing it in D flat. It's extremely simple. You start on the 4th scale degree, the subdominant, in root position. Your next chord will be, well, you're transitioning, I should explain, from the 4 to the 5, the subdominant to the dominant. So the chord you're going to use to transition is the 2, the supertonic, but you're not going to be playing it in root position. These won't be root position chords. That's not right. You'll be playing it in first inversion. So subdominant, supertonic, then dominant. That's the first one, 4 to 5. Now next you have the 5 to the 6. This involves using a secondary dominant to go from 5 to 6. Now if 6 is the target, that means your secondary dominant will be the F7. So you'll be playing an F7 chord. An F7 chord in between the 5 and the 6. Now we've heard that a lot. We've heard that in a lot of songs. 5 to 6 is more common than 4 to 5. But 4 to 5 does happen. Happens a lot. Especially if you're doing a 2-5-1 progression and you want to add some color. Even though technically that is a dominant 7, which would be another secondary dominant. A lot of people go from the minor 7th to the dominant 7th, not realizing that by doing that, change that one key, changes the entire chord. Because you literally do not have a minor 7th anymore. You have a dominant 7th. That 2 from 4 to 5 is the dominant of your A flat, your target chord. So you're playing your 4, secondary dominant of the 5, the 5, secondary dominant of the 6, and the 6. That whole progression is just secondary dominance. Now, a song that uses that what's the name of that song? By Kirk Franklin. I know that I can make it. I know that I can make it. Title, what is that title? If you can remember the title, please leave it in the comments and help me out. Forgive my memory. I have a musician brain. By the way, musician brain, for those of you who don't know, is when somebody comes up to you and says, hey, play something, and you, for some reason, forget that you play music. Basically the equivalent of minor amnesia. You know no songs whatsoever. Same thing happens to choir directors when they say, we need you to pick 2 selections, and you can't think of a single song that you've ever sang in your entire life. it happens. So that is the entire progression for secondary dominant of 5, 5, secondary dominant of 6, and 6. You can practice that by just moving up. And do this in any key. Like in the key of C, same thing works. 4, secondary dominant of 5, 5, secondary dominant of 6, and 6. Key of A. A lot of people don't like A. You need to learn to like A. A is a good key. 4, secondary dominant of 5, which is what? Then you have the secondary dominant of 6. Now remember, in the key of A, that's 6. So key of B, 4, 5, 6. So this is 4. 5 is here. So the secondary dominant is what if you notice the pattern? I'll just give it away. The pattern, you're playing whatever the root of your first chord is, the 4 or the 5, a minor third below it, you're playing that dominant 7. That's it. So if in the key of B flat, 4, 5, 6, key of G, 4, 5, 6. That's it. I'm at the edge of the screen, that's why this is weird, but yeah. That's how that progression works. Now you can use this in a lot of songs, a lot of different places. Anytime you need to go from 4 to 5 or 5 to 6. 4 to 5 is usually when you're suspending things. You don't really want to go to the 1 as quickly as you usually do. You can use that to avoid having to go to 5 to 1. That's how most of the theory rules developed. From 5 to 6, we use that all the time to give it that smooth sound instead of playing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Forgive the blurriness. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought. If you had any comments or questions, and I'll see you next time.